Hi guys, welcome to or back to my channel. My name is Chelsea. Today we are back with another monthly favorites. I'm going to talk to you guys about all the books that I read, give you guys a yes, no, maybe. We're going to talk about the things that I have been obsessing over, what I've been up to, and my monthly reading hopefuls. So I guess we'll start with what I've been up to in the month of February. February was such a quick month. I was anticipating a trip and it's already a short month to begin with, so I just knew it was going to completely fly by. I went on a book retreat with 16 other girls. We went to Colorado. We rented a beautiful Airbnb. Ariel, Hannah, and Kaylee literally took care of everything. Like, we just had to show up and be there, and it was amazing. The girls planned out everything to the T so seamlessly. Like, we had a content day, a day that we were gonna go out and do like a book crawl. We played games, we got to know each other. I tried my hardest to take clips, to take videos, and I did not do very well. I haven't even like looked back at any of the footage that I got because I just knew it was a chaotic mess. I'll put some clips in that makes sense.
Sonny Angels and Susie. Not the shaker.
Oh my god, Chelsea, the one up top for you.
No.
That's what you wanted.
You know.
Oh my god.
It was super fun. It was the quickest trip of my life. I made so many connections and friends that I would have never met in real life if it weren't for these girls that planned this amazing trip. So thank you guys so much. It was so much fun. I am looking forward to the next one. It's been years since I have traveled alone, really done anything alone. This was such a much needed trip and I feel rejuvenated and anew. Like, I just feel like I could do anything at this point. So hopefully more life updates to come. But let's go ahead and get into my reads of the month. So in February, I did read 12 books, which is pretty good. I feel like I average like 8 to 10 books a month. I'll give you guys a yes, no, maybe. I feel like a good amount of these books I did vlog reading in previous videos, so I'm not gonna go like too much into depth. Okay, so the first book that I finished was Finale by Stephanie Garber. I'm gonna give this one a yes. I don't wanna, oh. Hi bear. Hi baby. Hi Bubba. Bubba bear. Oh. Just Baby Bear's butt in the frame. Hi baby. Okay, Finale. I'm gonna give this one a yes. I did mention like in my vlog that I read the first two books like 3 years ago, and then I finally picked this one up because Dalton was reading it, and I'm glad that I did. It was a good wrap up into the series, and I think Caraval was such a good introduction into fantasy, especially because that's not like my favorite genre, my preferred genre. The next book that I read was Tell Me Lies, and I'm gonna give this one a no. If you are a fan of the show, I'm gonna give this a no. If you haven't watched the show, I'll give it a maybe. I watched the show first. I was completely hooked. I thought the show was so well done. I was so invested into every character's story, and even though they were like all very unlikable characters, you can't help but like want to know what else is going to happen and hope for the best for them. But the TV show and the book are completely different. There's so many things that were added in the TV show that I feel like would have benefited in the book as well, and it just wasn't my favorite. I was just anticipating so many more things to happen, but we didn't get that. The next book that I read was All Boys Aren't Blue by George M. Johnson. I'm gonna give this one a yes. All stories with diverse backgrounds are just so important to learn about. This year I really wanted to diversitize my reading. I have been enjoying it so much, just educating myself more on topics that are really hard but important. And the next book I read was The Bright Years by Sarah Jamoff. I am still not recovered, I don't think. I love this book so much. Just the best generational trauma book. I want more books like this. I'm so excited for her new book. I think it's called like The Burning Year. I don't think it's called The Burning Years, but it's like The Burning something that comes out soon, I think. I just absolutely love her writing. The next book I read was Severance by Ling Ma. I am so torn. I really wanted to like this book. I just didn't do it for me. I also just love how she's pink. She's super cute. But if I'm being honest, I would say maybe to a no. I didn't love it. Next book was Luster by Raven Leilani. Another book where I really wanted to love it. I have really enjoyed over the years female main characters that are just very unhinged and you just like won't know their next move type of thing. But this one just didn't really do it for me. There were aspects of the book that I did really enjoy, but will I be recommending this to everyone and their grandma? Probably not. So again, I'm leaning towards like a maybe to no. The next book that I read was Dear America, Notes of an Undocumented Citizen by Jose Antonio Vargas, and I'm gonna give this one a big fat yes. It was so important to read, especially with everything that's going on in the world today. I read this with Dalton and he was saying that he thinks it should be a required read in schools. Yes, period. 100% agree. It was so insightful, especially the way I could relate to it being Filipino. The next book I read was The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. This was a reread. I was reading this with my family book club. I think the consensus and the average rating for everyone was like a 4. Absolutely love this book. It was still a 5 out of 5 for me, and I need to read more of her books. The next book I read was My Husband's Wife by Alice Feeney. I think that her books are a hit or miss for me personally. I absolutely loved Daisy Darker. I think that's such an underrated thriller. It was absolutely amazing. My husband's secret. What is it called? My Husband's Wife. I give that a maybe. I think it was fine. I think I'm just like completely disassociated with thrillers. I just like don't care. I think I've just read too many that I'm just like, it was fine. It was fine. Okay, you guys, don't hate me. The next book I read was In 5 Years by Rebecca Cyril. I rated this a 1 star and I really need you to hear me out, okay? I love magical realism and I think I would have liked this book more if it didn't have a theme, a trope that I just personally cannot do. This book was so promising in the beginning. I was so excited. I was completely eating it up. Like I was reading and I was already on page like 60. I was just flying through it. There was no warning about any talk of cancer, of terminal illness, death. Like there was none of that. When I tell you that literally 85% of the freaking book was about cancer and her going through chemo, I couldn't do it. I can't do terminal illnesses in a book, okay? So I had no idea and I was just waiting for it to get better because I was like, no, I need to keep pushing because I need to know what happens when she goes back to the 5 years or whatever. No, the last like 8 pages. It was like the last 8 pages were when they revisited. The last 8 pages were what I was looking for. And it ended so poorly. I was so pissed. So like that is seriously one of the worst books I've ever read. And yeah, no one told me. And it's fine. I could have done my own research. But usually they have the triggers in the beginning of the book and I made sure to look through it. And there was nothing. The next book that I read was Annie Bot by Sierra Greer. I forgot that I owned this book. I actually did it on audio and it was very, very, very entertaining. Doug, you're on my hit list. This was really fun. I forgot what the movie's called. I think it's called like Companion. I watched that movie whenever it came out and it reminded me of this book, except way less gory. Like this isn't, I don't think this is a horror, maybe a psychological horror, but it wasn't gruesome. Nothing like that movie. But yeah, it was really good. It had a very, very satisfying ending. That's all I could have asked for with this book. So yes, I do recommend this one. Okay, and the last book that I read was The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. I feel like a broken record, but one of my goals this year is to read 1 banned book a month. So that was my banned book for February and it was very good. Basically, it is a book with the themes of police brutality and someone that has to navigate that as a Black person. I think that it was such a great read because of the female main character, how she was just so brave, stood up for what she believed in and knew what was right and what was wrong. So yes, I do recommend that book. So yeah, I think I had a pretty solid reading month. Let's go ahead and get into the things that I've been absolutely obsessed over in the month of February. I have to start off with this bad boy. This is the new Lime Slush Alani. I think that it just came out, but I was able to find it at our Walmart way earlier. I think even at the end of January. So I've been sipping on her for a while and I am so obsessed. This is not part of the favorites, but this is the Hydro Jug Slim Can Coolie thing. And you literally just put your energy drink into here. It has a little top and it just keeps it cold for so long. I'm gonna crack this open. It's giving like lime cream soda. I'm gonna chug this whole thing, but I'm not gonna. Okay, next thing I have been loving are these little keychains. So my friend Megan made this for me for Valentine's Day, and it's this like cute little lip gloss chain. I am so obsessed with her. Then I went on the Colorado trip and my friend Kaylee, okay, I'm gonna take it off my water bottle actually, made me this one. She just knows me. Favorite colors. There's like an initial, a diamond, a star, a moon. I don't think I'm showing this very well. Oh my gosh. Kaylee and I actually have the same water bottle and we brought it on the trip. and I kept drinking out of hers by accident. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna put this on my water bottle to make it known that this one is mine. So I stopped drinking out of yours. And then some of the other girls started putting theirs on here, and it just makes my heart so happy. This will be on my water bottle for the rest of my life. Okay, next thing I have been loving are these, they're fake, these sunnies. I feel so cool, girl. These are also from Kaylee. In my head, I can't pull off like cool girl sunglasses like this, but I was like, I make the rules. Next thing I've been loving is this little crocheted bear little drink. What is it called? Drink thing. Oh my gosh, I can't think right now. What is it called? My thoughts have gone off. The thoughts have gone out. The thoughts have gone out the window. But yes, my friend Kristen made this for each and every one of us that were on the trip. She's a crochet queen because she was just like going at it while we were on the couch. Then there were like 16 of them on the table an hour later, and I don't know how she did that. You are literally magic. Another favorite that I got in Colorado was this little pin. I have a new bagoo coming in today, and I think I'm gonna put pins on her and then maybe put like some silver studded stars on her. I have a vision in my head. I'm so obsessed with this. I love the pop of red. I just love black and red together. It's so cute. Next thing that I've been loving has been literally sitting in my nightstand for 2 years at this point. It is the, I think it's called the paper shoot. It's literally a paper camera, and then there's like a hard drive motherboard like inside of it. I don't know if you can see that, but it's super cool. I'll take a photo and I'll put it in. I don't know how that's gonna turn out. I'll take a picture of Bear. I'll put that in too. There's different settings too. There's like a black and white, there's a warm tone, and then there's a colder tone. I usually just do the black and white or the colored. Lens is pretty wide, so I really enjoy that. Like I could just like, but that one was the warm tone, and I guess I have to show the cool tone. Hopefully it looks cool. I just bought some like rechargeable AAA batteries, and then I could just charge this up. You just have like the SIM card on the side, so you can pull that out. And then I have a little contraption mabobber where you can put the SD card into it, and then you could just import your photos straight to your phone. So super fun. I want to start using her again because it's literally just been sitting in there, and I think it'd be so fun to like just capture super random moments instead of just like on my phone, you know, and it looks cooler, I guess. Next thing I've been loving, my polka dot Urban Outfitters exclusive bagoo. I am so in love with her. I'm so glad that I got the white bag with black polka dots because I was like regretting it after I hit purchase. I was like, should I have gotten the black bag with the white polka dots? No, I think she's so cute. She's so fun. I just love. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. We have to have a Kindle case, of course. If I don't have a Kindle case in my monthly favorites, something is wrong, and I need you to check on me. This polka dot one from Casely. They sent this over to me. I've just been live, laugh, loving polka dots. I don't know, something about it, but specifically neutral polka dots. Neutral girly, of course, and I can't, something about the black and white polka dots, just, I'm mesmerized. Casely's case is interesting because theirs is more like, the strap is more on the side rather than the middle, and I kind of like that, because then it's like easier to hold like that. But then when I switch, I'm like, you know? So live, laugh, love, live, laugh, love. Oh, and she also has a magnet, but there's nothing on the back, which is okay. I pretty much covered all my favorites, I'm pretty sure. And now we will go into my March reading hopefuls. Okay, let's talk about my current reads. I feel like I have so many physical books on my TBR this month, and it's kind of stressing me out because I'm a very slow reader. I like to literally like read every single word and make sure that I am digesting and understanding everything. So if I'm not, I will reread what I just read. And I don't know if that's like what normally people do, but it takes me forever to physically read a book because of that, and so I'm a little stressy. There's a lot of books that I want to physically read. Anyways, I was in a little bit of a reading slump after my trip. I did try to start Dungeon Crawler Carl. I DNF'd it. I learned that there were racist things in there, and I'm a little bit over the misogyny. The male main character, his jokes are getting a little old, so it's just not for me. It's just not for me. So I did DNF that, and then after that I was like, what am I reading next? I don't know what's going on. At this point, I was also waiting for all of my books that I got from the retreat come to the mail. We literally got gifted over like 400 books. So I was waiting for, I think it was like 20 that I ended up coming home with. All the books that I have here apparently aren't doing it for me. I was waiting for all those books to come in. I really wanted to read 200 Monas. Anyways, my books got here and I still wasn't feeling anything. So I knew that my girl was just gonna pull me out of it and everything was gonna be okay. She was gonna hold my hand, she was gonna tell me that everything was gonna be okay and I was gonna get out of this slump that I was in for literally 2 days. It wasn't even that deep. But I started Interesting Facts About Space by Emily Austen. I love Emily Austen and I don't think I've shown that online. I need to actually like post more books that I'm like absolutely loving, and so people, when they think of Emily Austen, I want them to think of me. I knew that she was just gonna pull me out of my slump, and she did. I'm on page 82 and I just started this yesterday or the night before. The way that she writes is just so unhinged, but very like, oh, that was real. That was very intrusive thought, inside thoughts, you know? Her book, Everyone in This Room Will Someday Be Dead, is like my top 3 favorite books of absolutely all time. I have never felt so relatable to a character in my entire life. I felt so seen. And so I'm making my way through her backlog. I think this is actually the last book I need to read. I've read everything else except for her, I think it's called like Gay Girl Prayers or something. It's like a book of short poems. Her writing is so unique. Her female main character will be talking or like in a situation, and then the next paragraph will completely like transport to like a memory or like some sort of different event that happened. And I kind of like that, like being able to jump to like different like thoughts, and I think that might be like the ADHD part of my brain. I just love it. I love her writing. I will live, laugh, breathe, love Emily Austen for the rest of my life. Next book I'm reading currently is Strange Girls by Servat Hassan. I'm so sorry if I pronounced that wrong. I am really liking this. I just think it's like right book, wrong time. Don't want to DNF it yet because I'm like, just keep reading, just keep reading. It's about female friendship and like that one person that you did absolutely everything with when you were younger, and then you guys grow up and you just drift apart, and now you only follow their life through your screen, you know, like stalking them on social media, stalking them on their mom's, grandma's social media, and not actually knowing what's going on in their life. But in the book, the 2 girls actually meet up again because of a mutual friend that they have's wedding is going on or something. And so obviously their friendship won't be the same because they're 2 completely different people now. So much time has gone past. And I think that's just so interesting about like female friendships, you know, like sometimes you can not see someone for X amount of years and you guys can just pick up like nothing ever happened, but then there's like those specific friendships where you're just so deeply hurt by this time that has passed. You don't know who this other person is now, and you yourself are completely different. So I'm just super excited to read this. Like just talking about it, I'm like, hey, actually maybe I should pick it back up again. I only got to page 16, so, but I'm pretty sure this book isn't out yet. I want to say that it comes out later this month in March. Okay, next book that I need to physically read is 200 Monas. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, a little lore. So there was these girls in the group that were girl bossing to the moon and back. They were like emailing a whole bunch of publishers, seeing if they wanted to collaborate and send us things for the retreat. And so Little Brown, they sent Ariel, she was gonna drive to the Airbnb, she wasn't flying. Anyways, they sent her like 50 plus copies of this book. Why did they send that many? Basically, it's about this girl who finds these pills in her mom's house or something. Oh, her mom's dead. I didn't know her mom was dead. RV has to sell these pills in 48 hours or die. Okay, I guess I didn't really know. I didn't read the back yet. That's crazy. That's crazy. Anyway, she has to sell these pills. These pills induce a very intense you know what I mean? We have a Fable book club. I'm so excited to read this with them. I just feel like it's just gonna be like the craziest unhinged book possible. And like, just look at the cover. Are you kidding? Of course it's going to be 200 Monas. I probably will start this after I finish reading that Emily Austen book. Okay, I think my banned book of March is going to be The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. Very excited. I know a little bit about this book, but I kind of just want to go into it blind. Next book that I hope to read is Honey and Spice by Baloo Babalola. We did a Secret Elf, basically like Secret Santa, book exchange with our group in Colorado, and this book was from my girl Kenzie. I really want to physically read this, but I do have it on audio. Maybe I'll like hybrid read it, but I'm so excited. I've heard literally nothing but good things. And then I also got the second book last month. I just want a good romance book in my life. I think this is gonna provide what I'm looking for. Okay, the next book I would love to read, but I think I might audiobook it, is Death of an Author. Oh, I'm going to butcher that last name, so there's the last name. But I got this book at the Denver airport, and I think, okay, I'm so glad that I kept the receipt because I think I want to start junk journaling. The girls have been sharing their junk journals, and I'm just like sitting here longing to journal, so I'm glad I kept that. But anyways, I started this book on the plane, but then there was a baby on the plane that kept crying, and so I couldn't really get into it. I'd love to try to read this month. Last book physically that I own that I would like to get to, Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton. I've heard nothing but good things. I did not know that this was a memoir. I think that it will change my life. There are 2 arcs that I do need to get to. I'm so bad at keeping up with this. I swore to myself like a year ago that I wouldn't request any arcs except for like authors that I immediately just need. I really need to get to Nothing Tastes as Good by Luke Dumas. That one is due on the 31st, so we have some time. But that book is about a weight loss drug that has a few side effects like nausea and then cannibalism. Cannibalism is one of the side effects, so I think that's so fun. I just wasn't in the mood to read it when I started, and so I just softy enough for a little bit. Another book that I need to get to that I'm really excited about, I just like am not in the mood for right now, is The Night We Met by Abby Jimenez. This one's due on the 26th, so I should prioritize this one soon. But yeah, I'm so excited to like keep this little series segment, whatever you want to call it, up, because I think it's so fun to see what I was addicted to buying the previous month and like what my favorite reads were, see if I actually like kept up with my reading hopefuls and all that. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm so excited to see you guys in the next one. Bye.